Guru Nation, how's it going? Let me share a company with you that may or may not be interesting. It's a penny stock, Curative Biotech. We wrote about it on Latinos in Clinical Research. Only $32 million market cap company. And by the way, in the last 5 days, it's now June 25th. This thing went up from like around 6 cents, almost 7 cents, 0.064 to 10 cents, and now is on Friday currently trading at 9 cents, almost 10 cents again. So this has been going up a lot, up and down. If you look at the year to date, you'll see a high of 19 cents around February, and prior to that it was trading at 6 cents. There's been some exciting things. This is like a little too small for me to want to cover. I'm always hesitant of the penny stocks. Keep in mind, this is not due diligence. This is not financial advice. This is something that I think is interesting. I'm curious about it personally. I like to follow these biotechs, especially these smaller ones. I like to see them grow. Or let's face it, I don't like to necessarily see them fail, but it's interesting to watch where these companies maybe go wrong, and also to learn where they actually end up going right, and to try to get better as an investor and as somebody who obviously works in life sciences, works in clinical research, and has a vested interest in this stuff beyond just the stock price. So this one, for such a small market cap, only 32 million, it's got a lot of chatter on stock twits and on the internet. And actually, one of the YouTube viewers uh, told me about this company. So thank you to you, YouTube viewer, for letting me know. And then, like, a lot of you guys in the comments, let me know which other companies you're interested in, and I could look into it. So there's something interesting that happened. This just happened yesterday, June 24th. As of June 24th, entry into or termination of a material of definitive agreement. So, Curative Biotech, symbol CUBT, is announcing that on May 21st, the company entered into a subscription agreement with an accredited investor to sell 10 million units, with each unit consisting of one share. And one half of a warrant to purchase one share of common stock. The price per unit sold was 6 cents for aggregate gross proceeds of 600,000 to the company. And if you look at StockTwits, people are talking about this as it happened live. So more people on StockTwits, just to give you an overview before we get into the article. Um, a lot of chatter around this company. Uh, Rallies, some days it rallies, some days it dips. Definitely volatile to say the least, as you would expect from a penny stock. Some people are saying 20 cents by end of June. This was in middle of June. CBT Kapil Bharti, so we're going to go through some of their employees here. From NEI at NIH has joined our scientific and clinical advisory board, inventor on US and worldwide patent applications licensed exclusively to Curative Biotech to repurpose metformin into an eye drop to treat degenerative eye disease. So, uh, world leader in preparing with CUBT for clinical trials. So this is let's get into it. Let's get into this article. Curative Biotech, a development stage biomedical company targeting novel treatments for rare diseases, focus on therapies with potentially accelerated development paths as a result of either the disease, the nature of the therapeutic itself, or the stage of clinical development. So, very smart strategy. A lot of biotechs are using this strategy. At the heart of the company is a clinical product development engine that rests on its SOAR filter, Science Opportunity Acceleration Rare Disease. So what is that? Doesn't matter. Sounds like some hyperbole kind of thing from the company, but they gotta have these acronyms. They gotta rally people around like some themes. So this is what Curative. But let's dig deeper and go into the details. Curative envisions a world where all patients have a therapeutic option. Okay, which biotech does not do that? The company has three primary therapeutic development programs. So this is where we separate the English from the Dutch. Okay, let's see. This is interesting to look at. The first program was acquired from Mid Atlantic Biotherapeutics and includes worldwide rights for the development of IMT 504, a novel patented immunotherapy to treat symptomatic rabies. Very interesting. IMT 504 is being developed to treat patients whose disease has progressed beyond the stage where it can be addressed by existing approved rabies vaccines. IMT 504 has been granted orphan drug designation in the US, which can provide significant benefits, including tax credits, market exclusivity, and waiver of certain FDA fees. By the way, shout out to our writer, Eileen Schneider, the writer at Latinos in Clinical Research. She's just creating such good content, uh, and it's helped curated by our audience at Latinos in Clinical Research and by viewers like you. Uh, Back to the article. Rabies is one of only a small number of diseases which qualify for the FDA Tropical Disease Priority Review Voucher Program that is granted to sponsors of approved tropical disease product applications that meet certain criteria. This program has the potential to assist Curative Biotech and MABT in advancing IMT 504 to the marketplace. At present, there is no effective therapy for rabies encephalitis. Vaccines are available only for pre exposure and immediate post exposure. Once signs of infection develop, however, there is no effective treatment, and uniquely among infectious diseases, it has a case fatality rate of almost 100%. Current vaccines are effective at protecting against this outcome provided that the vaccination is given before or shortly after exposure to a biting incident. Um, IMT 504 is an oligodeoxynucleotide ODN. ODNs are synthetic molecules that stimulate different kinds of cells of the immune system of animals and humans and have been studied as vaccine adjuvants as well as cancer and infectious disease immunotherapy. ODNs cause B cells and plasmacytoid dendritic cells to activate, proliferate, secrete immunoglobulin, and express co-stimulatory molecules. IMT 504, I mean, what a time to be alive, guys. Look at what we're doing. Synthetic vaccine for COVID, synthetic treatments now. This is the future. You're living in the future. IMT 504 has been shown to be effective in creating survival in a gold standard animal model meant to simulate treatment later than the window where current vaccines are known to be effective. In early human volunteer safety testings, IMT 504 was highly immunogenic and well tolerated in all volunteers. The second program was acquired from the National Cancer Institute, part of the NIH, for use of a novel monoclonal antibody. See? Synthetic MAB drug conjugate to treat brain cancer, glioblastoma. CURB906 is a fully humanized C5 CD56 monoclonal antibody carrying a cytotoxic drug conjugate directly to the tumor site to kill the tumor by inhibiting tumor growth and migration of the tumor. Monoclonal antibodies, by their nature, are target specific. CURB906 targets CD56 positive brain tumors. CD56, also known as neural cell adhesion molecules, are involved with cell migration and growth, and the drug candidate aims to stop them. CD56 is overexpressed on brain tumors, particularly early stage tumor. The antibody will carry an extremely potent anti-cancer drug conjugate, such as PBD or similar structural analogs. PBD means pyrrolbenzodiazepine, not Patrick Bet David. Sorry, PBD. PBDs can be 100, even 1,000 times more potent than chemo drugs and have been shown to have broad spectrum anti tumor activity in vivo. These novel drugs express their activity by binding in the minor groove of DNA and linking the two DNA strands together in the way that cells find difficult to recognize and repair. This increased potency comes with an increased urgency to ascertain that the drug is only delivered to the target. That is why a monoclonal antibody is an ideal vehicle to deliver this payload, according to the company. So, obviously very interesting. In addition, it has been difficult to get monoclonal antibodies across the blood-brain barrier to ensure that enough drug is being delivered to the tumor, as well as to limit the delivery of the drug as much as possible to the tumor site. The drug is being administered through surgical intervention directly to the remaining tumor. In January of this year, 2021, Curative Biotech executed an exclusive patent license agreement to practice inventions contained within a number of patent applications with the National Eye Institute of the National Institute of Health, including the repurposed use of metformin to treat retinal degeneration without using eye injections. This potential therapy holds great promise for multiple indications. With decades of safety data from the approved drug metformin, the company may be eligible for the 505(b)(2) pathway at the FDA. Remember ChemPharm, KMPH? This is the same exact pathway they do, repurposing a drug. And we see what happened to KMPH. Imagine the early shareholders of KMPH. This is a potential to be the next KMPH 3 years from now, specifically created to accelerate development for new formulations and or routes of administration uh, of already approved drugs. Curative Biotech is working on this reformulation. If you remember the key investors I interviewed for ChemPharm, KMPH, they said this 505(b)(2) pathway is the goose that lays golden eggs. Intellectual property has been exclusively licensed from the National Eye Institute, claiming the ability to use metformin, one of the world's leading generic drugs, to treat various types of retinal degeneration. Metformin has been used to treat diabetes, of course. So here, let's get into some of the science of it. This is a very well written article. The degeneration of the retinal pigment epithelium is associated with various types of retinal degeneration, such as Stargardt disease, retinitis pigmentosa, choroideremia, late onset retinal degeneration, and age-related macular degeneration. Remember LCTX, lineage cell therapeutics? All of these indications appear to share some or all of the three main causes of RD: reduced AMP activated protein kinase activity, extreme vascular endothelial growth factor secretion, increased calcium levels in RPE cells. Research has shown that metformin can activate AMP activated protein kinase, reduce vascular endothelial growth factor, and correct baseline calcium levels in patient-derived RPE cells. The new treatment indications will require reformulating the drug into an eye drop, injectable, or other topical delivery method to be able to deliver sufficient drug to the RPE layer to have a therapeutic effect. The company changed its name from Connectix in late 2020. And it had the new corporate name better reflects the commitment to finding therapeutics for patients with rare diseases who have unmet medical needs, and the experience in driving the innovations needed to shape the future of rare drug development. This is the future, guys. This is the future of research, I'm telling you. The company recently secured bridge financing that included management participation, and now, as you see, as we just read from this accredited investor, right? They bought 10 million units, with each unit consisting of one share of stock and one half of a warrant. To purchase one share of a common stock, the price per unit sold was 6 cents. Right, so they're raising money. Uh, accredited investors are not stupid people for the most part. Uh, although, look, we're very early, obviously. Uh, Reminds me a little bit of Chem Farm with the 505(b)(2). Everything's in preclinical. We've done some human with the rabies, right? Some safety studies. Um, let's read from the company what they're saying they're going to be doing. So they're going to go with the 505(b)(2). You can skip phase 2 and go straight to phase 3. Skip phase 1 and phase 2 and go straight to phase 3. They're eligible for that. Uh, Sounds like they got to work on the actual formulation, uh, and then file the NDA with the FDA, obviously. Um, and the IND, I believe that they are not, they haven't announced anything yet. So this is why it's a penny stock. Let's read the May 25th, 2021 first quarter financials and issue letter to the shareholders. So highlights of the company's first quarter include increase in cash on hand from 160 to 564, reduction in debt, conversion of Series B. Okay, so here's the letter. To Curative Biotech shareholders, in the past 15 months, We began building a clinical development enterprise. We have made great progress in assembling an experienced management team supported by a stellar scientific and clinical advisory board. I have spent 4 decades in biotech, identifying value in promising biotech assets and attracting the attention of joint venture partners, completing transactions that influence companies such as Celgene, Sumitomo, Noble Pharma. So the CEO, obviously, Paul Michaels, knows what he's doing and he's letting people know. Actually, he's not the CEO. Sorry, he is the chairman. Strong management team. Our first hire was Richard Garr as CEO and general counsel, who brings 17 years of experience as a director and CEO and president of Neuralstem, now Seneca Biopharma, where he had the responsibility and oversight of all operations of a world-leading regenerative medicine company, including worldwide business development, JVs, and licensing. They have also assembled a clinical scientific advisory board, which we saw in StockTwits. Michael Grace, PhD chairman of SAB, has over 30 years experience with big pharma and a bunch of biotechs. Kapil Bharti from the National Eye Institute is a lead inventor on the US and worldwide patent applications licensed exclusively to Curotech for the purpose of repurposing metformin into eye drop to treat degenerative eye disease. This is crazy. This 505b2 pathway is the unlock. It's the unlock to more innovation. Dmitry Dimitrov, PhD. Uh, he's the lead inventor on the antibody drug conjugate patent exclusively to Curative Biotech. Promising drug and therapy pipeline. The company has 3 primary development programs. We read about them all. So we read about those ones. Launch of new corporate website and trading symbol change, and they moved to fully reporting status. They've retained an audit firm. So this doesn't feel like, penny stocks. You got to be a little leery of penny stocks. Um, Scam comes to mind. I know this one. I know it may not mean much. You got to do your own due diligence, do the background on these people. I'm gonna try to interview the CEO or the chairman or somebody from the company to get a little more background as to what they believe about it. It's always nice to get the insiders' take. Insiders have been buying as well. If you look at the stock tweets, you can see insider activity, people posting. I mean, you can find these things on different websites too, but people posting. The president was interviewed by the Wall Street Analyzer. Um, Kapil Bharti has joined, which we've discussed. Uh, Spoke with the new investor relation person today. Very informative. Bottom line is that the potential market for repurposing metformin into an eye drop is huge, 20 to 30 billion with dry and wet combined. Goal is to submit IND by end of the year, then be in a combined phase 1 and 2 combo 6 months later. Okay, so they're not going to skip phase 1 and 2, but they're going to do a combined combo 6 months later, which is actually a very short time frame. Combined 1 and 2 because they won't have to go through as extensive safety since metformin has been on the market. Okay, so it's not entirely true. They can't skip it and go straight to phase 3. They can do a combined phase 1 and 2. Um, so yeah, you get a lot of information on the internet, especially stock twits. So let me know what you guys think. Just something to look into. Um, you want small market cap, you got it here. 32 million. They got 3 potentially really big things, especially the regenerative eye disease with the repurposed metformin eye drops. But the rabies too. I think the rabies treatment, if that proves to work, there's obviously a need for that, even though it's maybe not as common as you don't hear about rabies too much uh, in the news, but it occurs. And for a $32 million market cap, I mean, even at that price point, that's worth more just with the rabies treatment alone. And then you have the glioblastoma on top of that. I mean, you're starting to get into the billion market cap here. With regenerative eye disease, you're going to go from 32 million to potentially a billion with just some good news and some sales from any one of these things, which is going to take time. Obviously, it doesn't happen overnight, but 9 cents right now, guys. $32 million market cap. Let me know what you think. Let me know what else you want me to cover. Talk to you later.